What's up? What's up? How are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. You know, our people are pushing for change, and I was looking over the top bills in Congress right now, and let's see what they are. The most viewed bills. What does it say? Most viewed bills in Congress. As you can see here, the Congress.gov top 10 most viewed bills compiled each Monday. And and these are the ones for this week. And these are the bills for this week. Okay, you know what? Let's look at the last 2 weeks to see what the United States Congress, let's see what they think is most important in the world over the last 2 weeks. Okay, the first one is tax relief for American families. Okay. Disease X Act. We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that one. National Defense Authorization. Okay. Secure the border. Treat and reduce obesity. Social Security Fairness. Safe Banking Act. Future Additional Continuing Appropriations and Other Extensions Act. Preventing Private Paramilitary Activity Act. Okay. Further Continuing Appropriations and Other Extensions Act. Okay, that showed up twice. We're going to have to click into that. Okay, just so you know, the last 2 weeks, what has been the most important in the federal government. I said the federal government. Okay, last week, secure the border, tax relief for American families, prevent private paramilitary activity act, relieve act, a bill to prohibit contracting with certain biotechnology providers, impeaching Alejandro Mayorkas, Israel Security Supplemental Appropriations Act. National Defense Authorization is very important to them. Protect Our Communities from DUIs Act. Social Security Fairness Act. Now these are the top 10 bills that have been viewed. The top 20 bills that have been viewed over the last 2 weeks. Does any of this seem important to you? Or are you stumping for any of these as a foundation of Black America? And we've been out here yelling. To make us whole. Okay, do they want us to word it differently? Should we word our grievances differently? Maybe okay, you see this number one, maybe we should call our plight or our agenda or what's most important to us. Okay, see how number one is worded? Maybe we should say tax relief for Black families 2024. Okay, and they submit so many of these to look at, and there's a lot to look through. But I will show you a few that I did look through, and I was thinking, somebody in there can fight. Somebody can just put it out there. Don't worry about the co-sponsors. Just put it out there and continue to put it out there. Reparations, hate crime bill, end qualified immunity. Just keep submitting them over and over and over and over and over again until somebody else is brave enough to co-sponsor. I mean, it's so many of us in this place right here. It's so many of us in there. Why can't you push it through? Why can't it be pushed through? Reparations, Black hate crime bill. Why can't it be pushed through? It's so many of us in there. Okay, let's go back to disease X just for a second. Okay, what exactly is Disease X Act of 2023? And they're bringing it back up, and it's one of the top 10. Let's see. A Democrat from Massachusetts introduced it last year, and she's reintroducing it. This is what I'm talking about. Just keep reintroducing it until you get some energy behind it. This is what I'm talking about. What is Disease X? And here's a summary. Okay. This bill expands the priorities of the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, otherwise known as BARDA, to specifically include viral threats that have the potential to cause a pandemic. In particular, the bill expands the scope of innovation grants and contracts that may be awarded by BARDA to specifically include those that support research and development of certain manufacturing technology for medical countermeasures against viruses, including respiratory viruses with pandemic potential. Okay, the sponsor is Lori Trahan, a Democratic person, a Democratic representative from Massachusetts, District 3. Okay. Disease X Act.
There is one summary for H.R. 3832. Bill summaries are authored by CRS. Shown here, introduced in House 06052023. Disease X Act of 2023. This bill expands the priorities of the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, BARDA, to specifically include viral threats that have the potential to cause a pandemic.
Okay. So this bill is already on the books. They're just expanding it to include viral threats that may cause a pandemic. And they would like to be able to fund that type of research. Okay, National Defense Authorization Act. This bill authorizes for the year 2024 appropriations and sets forth policies for Department of Defense programs and activities, military construction, the national security programs of the Department of Energy, and the Maritime Administration, and authorizes appropriations for the Defense Nuclear Safety Board and the Naval Petroleum Reserves. It authorizes the cash, but it does not provide the budget authority. These bills are so what's the word? What is the word? It's like they're vague, but they have little words in them that I don't know, that serves as the hook. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but okay, Secure the Border Act. Let's see what this is. Of 2023. A Republican sponsored it. Mario Diaz-Balart from Florida, near Miami. Okay. Okay, it's passed the House. Okay, This bill makes various changes to immigration law, including by imposing limits on asylum eligibility and requiring employers to use an electronic system to verify the employment eligibility of new employees. And this is a Division A, Border Security. It requires the Department of Homeland Security to resume all activities related to constructing a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. Okay. Okay, treat and reduce obesity. Social Security Fairness Act. Safe Banking Act. And this was presented by a Democrat. And right now it's only introduced. This bill provides protections for federally regulated financial institutions that serve state-sanctioned marijuana businesses. Currently, many financial institutions do not provide services to state-sanctioned marijuana businesses due to the federal classification of marijuana as a Schedule I controlled substance. Under the bill, a federal banking regulator may not penalize a depository institution for providing banking services to a state-sanctioned marijuana business. That is the SAFE Act. Safe Banking Act. Okay, since this one is a hot button, I will click on it. It says further additional continuing appropriations and other extensions act. Oh, it became law. Okay. This act provides continuing appropriations for federal agencies. The act also extends several expiring programs and authorities, including several public health programs. This section provides continuing appropriations for federal agencies. It is known as a continuing resolution and prevents a government shutdown that would otherwise occur if for the year 2024 appropriations fiscal year this year appropriations bills have not been enacted when the existing CR expires. And it provides funding through March 1st. Okay. Agriculture, rural development, military construction, transportation, urban development. Okay. So they just want to continue funding. It's like a blank check to federal agencies. And it became law. If I'm I'm wrong about that one, let me know, honey. Let me know. Okay, Preventing Private Paramilitary Activity Act. Let's see what this is. And this was submitted by a Democrat from Maryland, and it was only introduced. This bill establishes a federal statutory framework to prevent certain conduct involving actions as a part of a or on behalf of a private paramilitary organization while armed. Okay. Preventing private involving actions as a part of a private paramilitary organization while armed. Okay, they're establishing federal framework to prohibit certain conduct if you are involved in private military organizations while armed. Okay, so you are establishing the framework to prevent this. Okay, this is to establish the framework to prevent private militias. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, let me see. Anything different? Relief Act. What is that? National Security. Veterans Affairs. Submitted by a Republican. It has passed. It was introduced. It passed the House. Now it's just passed the Senate. And it removes extraneous loopholes, ensuring every Veteran Emergency Act. Okay. The bill expands eligibility for Department of Veterans Affairs reimbursement of emergency treatment for veterans who are not treated in a non-VA facility. Okay. So the Relief Act is reimbursing veterans who have to go outside of the VA to get treated. Okay, let's see. Israel Security Supplemental Appropriations Act. Let's see what this is. And this was submitted by a Republican from California. It was introduced and it failed the House. Let me see. This bill provides supplemental appropriations to the Department of Defense and the Department of State for activities to respond to the attacks in Israel. The bill designates the funding as emergency spending, which is exempt from discretionary spending limits. Funding such as supporting it was introduced and it failed the House. Sounds like they trying to back up off that one. Okay. Sounds like somebody is about to hold their own nuts over there. looks like they want to give them more money. And the House is like, Okay. Protect communities from DUIs. Let's see what they're talking about here. Republican from Alabama introduced it, and it was introduced and it passed the House. And this bill makes driving while intoxicated or impaired a ground for barring a non-U.S. national or alien under federal law from admission into the United States or deporting the individual. Oh, barring a non-U.S. national. Barring a non-U.S. Okay, so this is stating that if you are not American and you're around here driving drunk, they about to kick your ass up out of this country. And it has passed the House. Okay, family, and these are the top bills that our U.S. government, our U.S. federal government is contemplating right now. Our cries are not being heard because they're all on the same team. I guess we're going to have a bunch of one-term presidents until they get it right. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.